Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing? I don't have a good program set up because this what I'm going to tell you is not good. It's an update on what's taking place with this war, and it's not good. I'm gonna get right into it because now is the time. If you haven't prepared for war, this would be a good time to start. Because what has taken place in the past 24 hours has brought planet Earth to a point of World War III. And that ain't good to hear. I've been watching this and keeping up with it. And it ain't good. It ain't good. We'll give you an update to what's taking place with the war. And this is in the last 24 hours. Um, if you all didn't know, the number one thing that Putin has said from the beginning that he would not allow is that Ukraine to become part of NATO. NATO uh, couldn't, Ukraine could not become a part of NATO because of the fact that NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, member states and nations are under the control of America. That meant that if Ukraine becomes a part of NATO, that will put America at its border. Now, for you all that don't know, today, 4 regions of Ukraine has become part of Russia now. I want to take my time and unpack this to you because I know you've probably been very busy in your lives and doing the things that you do to keep your families taken care of. So, this is what's happening. This war started not in February this year, but actually in 2014. Why? Many people living inside of Ukraine are actually, in fact, Russians and been there for don't know how long. Okay? Now, those people have been in control of some of the most natural resource rich, fertile land in Ukraine. And at the same time, those people have wanted to be a part of Russia. Okay? Now, Ukraine has been fighting against those people since that time. They don't want the people to go into Russia because that means Russia will control the most rich, fertile land in Ukraine. Okay? Now, during the Obama administration, there was a woman named Victoria Nuland that actually orchestrated the overthrow of the then Ukrainian government and installed this puppet government headed up by Vladimir Zelensky. Okay? Why did that happen? Now, now I'm giving you some background so you can understand just how serious what is taking place within the last 24 hours. Afghanistan. Okay? We're in Afghanistan now. We just flew out of Ukraine. We're in Afghanistan. Now, Afghanistan, they've been over there, America, for what, 20 years? And what was they doing? You know, the opium problem they had over there in America, where so many people got strung out on opium, the opioid crisis, and killed so many Americans. Where do you think they was getting that opium from? Walmart? Nope. It was a source that America was getting that opium. And you remember it was one particular company that they singled out as one of the biggest companies that was selling all these opioid-based drugs that was killing these people. But where was they getting the opium from? Afghanistan. Now, when this thing began to break about the opioid addiction and problem, Afghanistan became a problem. Why? Because the people figured that eventually the light was going to shine on where they've been sourcing the raw poppy from. So they had to run up out of that. Afghanistan became a problem. But at the same time, they've been laundering their money through Afghanistan and using Afghanistan as a source to get their opium. So they needed somewhere else. Now we leave in Afghanistan because Afghanistan became too problematic, and we end up in Ukraine. This is America. Victoria Nuland, during the Obama administration, orchestrated the overthrow of the then Ukrainian government and installed this puppet president that you all know, should know, if you've been keeping up, that he was a actor, comedian, and he played in a movie as a president. And that's the clown that they got to be the president. Why? They needed somewhere to continue to clean their ill-gotten gains. These was many of America's politicians, Joe Biden, his family and clan and other constituents, and other corrupt people around the world. And it became Afghanistan, where they have been involved in all manner of evil, wickedness, and corruption. Now, I'm going to mention this, but I don't want you to think I'm a supporter. But that boy Trump was spot on when he said they need to investigate the Bidens, because he knew the level of corruption that they was dealing with in Ukraine. Why? He was right with them. Why is it that they've been scared of this one man? Donald Trump got their buttholes so tight, air can't get to it. I remember during the campaign, they were sitting on the stage. That boy sat up there and looked from the left and the right. He said, a lot of these people sitting on the stage, I done gave money to. All their eyes was big, and they was very concerned. Because this guy's over there, one that they can't control. And he became the president. And he told them, you need to investigate the Bidens for what they're doing in Ukraine. Because they was laundering money. They was involved in human trafficking, people trafficking, drugs, everything you could think of. Now, I'm going to make this point, and I'm going to get back to the war. How is it that Joe Biden, during his time as a senator, can introduce a bill in Congress and hold up a little example of crack cocaine? It wasn't bigger than a quarter. I saw the video. He said anybody that's caught with that much crack cocaine, 5 years imprisonment. No ifs, ands, or buts. That's what he said. And they brought the law into effect after they done flooded the black community with it. Nevertheless, roll the clock forward, that same senator has become the president now. And his son is on video with 5 times that much crack sitting on the scale, smoking it. And we saw the video walking around the room with the gun, the crack, and the whore, and other things. And that's his son, and they didn't say he been blocked from going in and out of the White House. That's the son of the president, right? Now, how is it that that boy could freely move around and still be out free doing the things that he has video and people see him? Because he's moving in and out and around a corrupt system. That's how. And that corruption is why America is in Ukraine. Now, this is the thing I want you to understand. Within the last 24 hours, America, Ukraine, Russia has made power moves that have brought us at World War III. I'm not talking about something that they discussing. I'm not talking about a hunch. I'm not talking about, well, I think. I'm telling you, they have literally signed the one document that Putin has said is a no-no. And what was that? Vladimir Zelensky signed the paperwork entering Ukraine into NATO today. While you out doing what you're doing, that's the one thing. In addition, the 4 regions of Russia, the 4 regions inside of Ukraine now has become a part of the Russian state. Okay? And then America run around telling you all that's a sham election, it's not true, the people being forced. Those people weren't being forced to do that. Those people have been wanting to do that since 2014 and beyond. It just has gotten now, at this point, that it's happened. You understand? Okay? So, the 4 regions has become a part of Russia. And that means what? If anybody attack anything in those regions, that is a direct attack on Russia. And Vladimir Putin said at the signing ceremony, I don't know if in America, I don't know if you'll be able to see the video, because I know America has been lying about everything concerning this war. Oh, the lies they have told. Wow, unbelievable. So I just woke up here. It's 11:41 at night to see uh, on video Vladimir Putin on stage shaking the hands of the leaders of the 4 areas in Ukraine that now has become a part of Russia, which means that if anybody, mainly America, attack those regions, that is a direct attack on Russia, which Vladimir Putin said today that if something like that would happen, Russia would bring the full scale of war to defend it. The thing about the areas is that those areas in Ukraine that now have become part of Russia, 4 areas, they are some of the most mineral, natural resource rich area of the country. Okay? The people in those areas are in fact Russian, and they have wanted to be a part of Ukraine for a long time. They wanted to be a part of Russia for a long time, and now they are. Okay? In addition, that boy Vladimir Zelensky signed the paper to make Ukraine a part of NATO. So that means what? Okay, the whole issue was that Putin was telling them under no circumstances whatsoever can Ukraine become a part of NATO. NATO is the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which is ruled by America. It's several European countries that all form a part of this group to support each other politically, militarily, and in other means. And America is the leader of it. So that means when you're a part of NATO, you in bed with America. Okay? Let me show you how evil these people are. The pipeline, Nord Stream 1, Nord Stream 2, they have been supplying gas to Europe, Germany, what have you. The pipeline comes out of Russia. The amount of money that Russians generate from selling that gas is very, very significant to their Russian economy. All right? Also, the woman I mentioned earlier, Victoria Nuland, stated that if, this was like during the Obama administration, this was years ago, okay? She stated that if Russia attacked Ukraine, that pipeline, they would knock it off. She said if Russia attacked Ukraine. So they knew what they was doing because they set up a puppet regime in Ukraine that they could stoke the bear. First they say if Russia attacked Ukraine. Then they put a government in to agitate Russia and to say they want Ukraine to be a part of NATO. Russia says, nope, under no circumstances, because that'll put America at their border, which is like, what, a fence? So you got them right there? Hell no. They got the government, they got the puppet government in there, which means this guy Zelensky is America like he on their payroll. All right. The regions that they just signed to make it Russia are in control of some of the most mineral resource fertile area in Ukraine. Okay? And those people are in fact Russians that have been wanting to be a part of Russia. No, and then the big skirmish, the big war, the fight started in 2014. All orchestrated by your United Snakes of America. Now, what I'm telling you is so important for you to know now is that within the last 24 hours, the 4 regions in Ukraine now has become Russia. And today, while you was busy doing what you're doing, Vladimir Putin and the 4 leaders in those areas had a major ceremony and came together on the stage, shook hands, and was welcoming them to Russia. And in that same ceremony, Putin made it absolutely clear that from this day forward, if anybody, mainly America, attacked anybody in those 4 regions, that's like an attack on Russia, and he would bring the full weight of the Russian military to defend them. That's what he said today. That's what he said today. And at the same time, the president of Ukraine signed the paperwork bringing Ukraine into NATO. That was a big no-no. Now, you got to think. We're not talking about Ukraine border being right there at Russia and NATO. Now we're talking about certain areas inside of Ukraine or Russia. You see what I'm saying? This some real effed up drama that's taking place with nuclear armed nations headed by warmongers. Ain't nobody pulling back. We're at a point right now where a damn needle fall off the table could start World War III in a nuclear war. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? These guys have signed the document, shook hands, and did the very thing that they say, that Russia said they couldn't tolerate. Ukraine becoming a part of NATO. This is very concerning. If ain't nothing else concern you, you need to be paying attention. Because nobody on no major level is talking about, hey, let's calm down. You got American senators with they dumb old asses talking about, why don't we just nuke Russia? You know, like, man, you know how many nukes Russia got? You know how many nukes America got? And if you attack Russia, Russia and China are road dogs. They partners. Then you got America and Israel, who Israel to this day have never told nobody about their nuclear program. Nobody. Nobody know nothing about what Israel doing. The nuclear plant down south, matter of fact, I just went to the Dead Sea. You ride right past the nuclear plant. A few miles to go past that area. And nobody know what they doing up in there. They're America's bed partner. Then you got Russia with all type of nuclear armament. And the S-400, S-500 system. Oh, they got some stuff to bring the pain now. And it's a bunch of old heathens that done brought us to this point, and ain't nobody trying to be level-headed. Hell, when when Putin was trying to have some negotiation meeting to negotiate out of this, Tony Blair, no, what that? Boris Johnson, this fool flew right over there to destroy the peace talk. They wanted to fight because all this is part of that Klaus Schwab, the Great Reset. If y'all don't know, a bunch of old fogey heathens done brought this planet to the brink, the door of World War III, which could be a nuclear, all-out nuclear war. While we are busy trying to just live our lives. Now, look, I want to play this here clip that you all need to hear. And this is taken from a channel on YouTube named Redacted. And I want you to hear this. This is important. It's about what I'm talking about.
Change, and it looks like it has. And so there are a couple of big pieces of news breaking this afternoon that I wanted to bring to you and try to provide some context for them. First, on the Russian side. Of course, last night, as we reported, President Putin of Russia was going to be meeting with the leaders of the 4 regions of the Donbass to officially sign joining the Russian Federation. That happened this afternoon, and President Putin then delivered remarks saying now would be a time for Ukraine to stop attacking. If they continue to attack, we will use the full weight of the Russian armed forces to retaliate. So he's calling on Kiev right now to stop any aggression in the Donbass region. Take a listen.
And the Kiev authorities, they should see this expression of will with respect. And that's the only way we can reach a peaceful solution. We will protect our lands with every means we have at our disposal. And we will do everything to provide safety for our people. This is the great liberating mission of our people.
So, of course, all 4 leaders were there. They then, at the end of the speech, got together on stage, put their hands together, shook, and they all started chanting, Russia, Russia, Russia. Watch. So that's on the Russian side. There were other couple of really interesting moments during this speech from President Putin, specifically blaming the West for the attacks on the Nord Stream pipelines, saying that they were absolutely responsible for it. Also saying he is now open to talks, open to peace talks. Now that these 4 regions are under Russian control, now would be a good time probably to stop this war. Very interesting on the Ukrainian side, and this is the main reason for doing this video this afternoon, is because moments ago, Volodymyr Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, held a signing ceremony, a sudden and unexpected signing ceremony.
Ми робимо свій визначальний крок, підписуючи заявку України на вступ у пришвидшеному порядку в НАТО.
He's signing the document now. The second man is signing. And the third man.
That is a stunning moment. That is absolutely what President Putin said would not be allowed to happen. NATO advancement right on the doorstep of Russia. This is a moment that is begging for nuclear war. This is a moment begging for World War III. I think we are watching this unfold right before our eyes, guys, and it's absolutely terrifying. It is absolutely terrifying. This is one of those moments when you want to hug your children, want to hug your family closer, because it doesn't look like cooler heads are going to prevail. These 4 regions are now under Russian control, and you can say what you want all about the 8 years of bombing of these regions. You can say what you want about the Russian decision to actually invade, to secure these regions. all of that is moot at this point. All of that is moot. These 4 regions are now under Russian control, and the only thing to do right now is to demand peace. Put up the white flag and say, we are done. Let's have a peaceful solution, because if not, we are looking at utter destruction. So Zelensky signing this letter application officially for NATO ascension. And what we do know, that the application is one piece of this. He's now submitted it to NATO, according to Zelensky this afternoon. And according to reports this afternoon, NATO Secretary General Stoltenberg and UN Secretary General Guterres will make an unprecedented statement at 1900. At 1900, we are going to see an unprecedented statement concerning Ukraine. What will that be? What will that be? Just wrap your head around it. Coming up shortly, it's going to be the acceptance of Ukraine into NATO, something that Russia said would not be allowed to happen, not on their watch, and we are tumbling into a chaotic, really, really chaotic and troubling time right now. It's an interesting piece that Caitlin Johnstone wrote this afternoon, and I think on this show we've been pushing for peace from the very beginning. And she says this would be a wise stopping point for this war. And I think she's absolutely right about this. So I just want to read a little bit from Caitlin's newsletter that was just published a few minutes ago. She says, at the risk of upsetting the entire internet, the annexation of those 4 Ukrainian territories seems like a great time to end this war to me. And to me too. Yes, absolutely. Does anyone honestly believe, she says, a significant percentage of the people who live there want a massive counteroffensive on their doorstep? I don't, she says. The West knowingly provoked this war. The thing experts warned for years would happen did happen, and now Ukraine lost some territory. Rather than risking millions or billions of lives escalating this conflict, it seems sensible to draw a line under it. You can yell Putin bad and international law all you want, but it's just a cold hard fact that after the annexation, the U.S. NATO-Ukraine tandem is going to be presented with the choice of either ending the bloodshed or massively, massively escalating it. It's a pretty easy choice, in my opinion, she says. And it appears that the choice they're now making is escalating it. I'm really terrified about this. And now
Hey, you still there? Certain kind of way, isn't it? These warmongers, not men of peace. United States of America blew the Nord Stream pipelines up on September 26th. And at the exact same day that they blew them pipes up, they introduced some new pipes they would start and bringing on land that America backed out of, was it Poland? Isn't that something? Now, let me tell you about those pipes. The metal pipe itself is 4 millimeters thick. That's 1.6 inches of high-grade steel. Each section of the pipe weighs 11 tons. That's just a steel pipe. The steel pipe is then encased in concrete and steel. Right? Hey, I'm good, Akola. Thanks for tuning in. Domita Akola, it's all good, brother, over here. And so the pipe is encased in solid steel. Excuse me. The pipe is encased in concrete reinforced steel. When they do that, the total weight of that section can go up to 24, 25 tons per section. Why do they make the pipe so incredibly strong? That is to prevent damage from ship anchors. You know, big cruise ship, battleship, aircraft carriers, they test those pipes with those anchors falling down on them in the water, because it's been accidents happen where those anchors have fell off them ships and hit the pipe. And so they build it that incredibly strong. Those pipes basically can withstand almost anything. I mean, earthquake ain't gonna shake them apart. Big ship anchors that weigh tons and tons falling down through the water, banging on it, ain't gonna break it. So in order to blow them pipes up, they had to have had some incredible explosive. But dig this, the new pipeline coming from Poland all over to Germany, that pipeline, that's the one that America backs. It was like running along right next to the Russian pipe, Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2. It wasn't damaged. Okay, so how did they blow it up? Military expert says that one or two ways. They could have sent a team of Navy SEALs down and detonated an explosive with remote control. He said, but they would opt another way because so much technology, they got drones that they can send down there to plant those explosives and blow them up. And so if NATO wanted to find out who blew the pipes up, you can simply look for drone debris in the area. Debris. But you ain't heard nothing today lately about anybody doing an investigation on who blew the pipes up. You don't even hear nothing about that. They got you caught up in some more drama. And that happened on September 26th, which was Monday. And you ain't heard nothing about it. And at the same day, they introduced another pipeline. Come on, line. Yeah, but you know, you can't make this stuff up. Wow. Planet Earth. And you know, we can't even, just like if we decided to go somewhere, we can't even go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, what? If we wanted to even leave the planet, we can't even go. And yeah, would I want to leave? Daggone Skippy would have no problem with it. I mean, give me a ship. I ain't going on nothing they make here on planet Earth. Blow up too much. Okay, now, America, listen, tell you some more information. Do you know America and Russia is only 2.5 miles apart from each other up there in Alaska? Now, the two mainlands, they actually 55 miles apart. But there are two islands out there, a big one and a small one. The big one is Russia, the small one in America. They're only 2.5 miles apart. I think they named Godomy or something like that, named after some Russian, not Russian, but a Greek god. You know, a couple of islands. And those islands, only 2.5 miles apart. On the American side, they got a village up there. I mean, a little town. It has no electricity, no running water, no Wi-Fi, no communication network. And the only way they can get supplies up in there, it has to be sent up on a helicopter. Other than that, there are times where the water gets so froze, you can walk that 2.5 miles right into Russia. They spotted Russian and Chinese warships rolling together up there. So that means what? if America get to fighting with Russia, China is back in Russia. So that means America will be at war with two superpowers. Now, they've been lying to you all constantly in America about Russia, antiquated military, rusty military, and all of these, hey, you better wake up. Man, Russia got that S-400 and S-500 missile defense system that is impenetrable. And let me tell you this, that F-35 craft that America been bragging about is the world's most sophisticated, advanced, undetectable fighting. The S-400 and S-500 can pick it up. Why? Because what makes the plane indetectable is when it's flying straight at you. It have radar defense system that absorb what, like the radar that's okay. You send these radar signals out, and when it bounces off something, it comes back, and that lets you know something is out there. Well, just the front of the F-35 absorbs the radar, and so when nothing go back, it look like nothing out there. That S-400 and the upgraded S-500 missile defense system that Russia got can pick that baby up 400 kilometers away. Launch a rocket at Mach 9 and blow it out of the sky. They got rockets that fly at Mach 9 times the speed of sound. America say they don't, but they do. They lying, they do. Because they both been spying on each other. It's like every day Russia got his eye on America. America got the eye on Russia. So it's not like they got something that America ain't got. So if they go into an all-out war, it's going to be nasty, to say the least. What could we do? Yeah. Look, I'm going to just be straight with you all. That whole God, Jesus thing coming to help do some stuff, man, you can pack that up and put it away. Why? Because if there was some great creator, God, Jesus, why we got to get to this point? And if he so loved the world and his people, and then, we come to where warmongers like this are doing things like this, and you gonna say we gotta pray? What do you think we've been doing? What do you think we've been doing? We ain't been praying? What? We've been praying. But them prayers ain't stopped these fools. So that obviously ain't the answer. We dealing with evil, degenerate, barbaric heathen that love war, love to fight. Why is it that Boris Johnson get on a plane to go and disrupt the meeting that Putin was trying to have peace talks to end the war? But you don't know about that. Because there are heathens, mainly in America, that want to finance both sides of the war to make money. That's why. You got to ask yourself, damn, don't y'all know we could wind up a dead star with these heathen? A few nuclear bombs exploding on the planet? You remember Albert Einstein? You know why he was afraid of nuclear bombs being exploded? Because at the time he thought that the splitting of that atom that creates that nuclear explosion would cause a chain reaction in the other atoms that the planet is made of. And he was afraid that exploding a nuclear bomb would cause the entire planet to burn because all the atoms would burn up. But that has been proven not to be true because they done exploded nuclear bombs on like underground in the ocean in different places. Oh, this heathen done did some things on this planet. So anyway, that's you all, if especially in America, if you all haven't heard any speeches from President Putin, you need to get some VPN, virtual private networks, and go out there and listen, because you are being fed a bunch of bullshiggity, especially if you all gleaning your information from CNN. It's all lies that you're hearing over there. You understand? I remember CNN was saying that it's a sham election and they're having a forced draft. And they were showing you videos of old, videos they were showing you. That wasn't it. Those 300 reservists that he called up because he seen, what's taking place with the West. Okay? It wasn't a sham election. Those people wanted to be a part of Russia. Ukraine didn't want to let the region go because it's some of the most fertile area in Ukraine. Okay? All right. Just got a very important message in I need to deal with, but any further updates, I'm gonna let you know. You all need to really pay attention. If you listen to CNN, Fox, ABC, NBC, get away from those mainstream news medias. That was redacted on YouTube, that these people, they sharing information that you all not going to hear on mainstream news. Another guy, Alex Jones, he is the most banned network in the world, most banned individual. Okay? And you all say conspiracy theorists, Alex Jones was right. Okay? And these heathen are doing this right now before our very eyes. Okay? I keep you updated as much as I can. And I love you. That's why I say this. Because I love you from the basement of my heart to the attic of my mind. And how much I love you 24/7. That means I love you all the time. Stay strong. Take care of your families. And we'll see you when I see you. Shalom.